So here is a variation of zone drawing where you would incorporate multiple instances of icebergs coming in, especially with the iceberg on chart, which we talk about in another video. You can see with this black line, this is continuous ice that as it keeps tagging it, this iceberg continues to come in. So if I'm watching this, real time, I'm not drawing that iceberg at 453 because that's not threshold, right? But as this market tagged it again, it triggered this ice. I wouldn't draw it there, but then I wouldn't draw it off of this 400 sell iceberg. But then immediately thereafter, as you can see, these buyers keep buying into these icebergs that are triggering, and then another 820 came in, right? So these two spikes alone were 1200. But even if this was just 400 and 400, I would draw that as the threshold, or even 300, right? Because the threshold's 700. If they come in like this back to back, you can draw them even at 700. This one happened to be, 1300, so you're definitely drawing that. But in this instance now, you can see this market then ripped up to here and triggered even more sell ice, another 1400. So, and it looks like, again, you can see this black line carried over. So this is the same house that was still selling over here. So the way I would personally draw this zone, I would incorporate this spike, this spike. You could incorporate, this is going to be in the same area, so you're already incorporating that. But it's mainly this spike, these two are threshold, and this is definitely threshold. I would personally make this into one zone. You could, sometimes the market will move up and then you'll see another spike. You could just draw to the most recent, especially if this one spike by itself is way over threshold. But I want to incorporate the area where this trader or entity is placing their bet, and I want to know where traders are being aggressive trying to buy into them. And so I would incorporate all of this ice in one zone. Right, so once again, we want to turn off our bubbles, make sure the last price line is checked, and that will help us draw a zone. And we want to incorporate all the prices in the spike. So again, the best way to do this is just get these, it's pretty much up here on this one, it's pretty easy to draw the top, but just get your zone on the chart, or your lines on the chart, then you can adjust it. That's the easiest way to do this with this archaic drawing tool as of right now. So we'll come in here. This is large sell ice. So on this particular spike, it was actually, so I can actually move this up so you can see this. This is in these two spikes. The price just came, use your crosshair. Price came down to here, 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 here. This price came lower here, but that was not part of this. There was no sell ice there, so I'm going to actually move this particular line, bottom of the zone. Remember, get in your edit function and then pull this little dot up. Now that's where that sell ice come in. So again, this is why we're using the crosshair as well. When I pulled that up, this was the end of this spike, right? This was not included. And then when the market came back up here, it triggered this again. Now I have my zone, right? This is where this triggered, this area, and you can see the black line is one entity. And then that triggered on these, someone came in and swiped a ton here, triggered the rest of the sell ice. So that would be your accurate zone in here, and this is a variation. Again, you don't see it all the time, but you do see instances where the ice will keep coming in where you can combine the two zones. And in this particular instance, it's up to, I should bring this down a tad, make sure you're on your exact prices. That's where that ended. 39.59.75 down to 39.54, and that would be the zone that I would trade.